Welcome to Nightmares Before Bed, a supernatural podcast where each show will explore dark and mysterious places, eerie creatures, and all things spooky and creepy. And speaking of spooky and creepy, please help me welcome your hosts Jonathan Rosen and Troy Cannon.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Nightmares Before Bed. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Rosen, along with Troy Cannon, and we have a weird one today. And we're going to talk about the Pigman of Vermont. Now, before we go into what it's about, did you know about this one beforehand?
I didn't.
This is a weird one. Okay, so legend has it, like in the 70s, a farmer went out. I think it's in Northfield, Vermont. Went out, he heard some noise, and one night, he started expecting to see some animals or something there, and instead, he saw this humanoid-looking creature, like hairy, but with the face of a pig. And the thing terrified him, and he ran back in the house. And of course, as every legend, since then, there have been many sightings through the years, and they're some famous ones. I think some teens in a car were terrorized by it as well. But there have been many sightings of it, and I had not heard about this one at all before we decided to do this one.
I started looking it up. I was curious. I'd never heard of it, so I was curious. I'm looking it up. I'm reading, a little bit of stuff that's out there. I'm looking at videos and everything. It reminded me of two other legends. It reminded me of the Melonheads.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it could potentially be a regular dude that just went nuts and is living out there. Also,
except that he has a face of a pig, but we know people with faces of pigs also. But anyway.
It also reminded me of there's a legend called the Rougarou. It reminded me of that. The Rougarou is basically America's Wolfman.
Right.
And I was like, wow, so this dude is out there in the woods, and either it's a pig man or it's a guy. They said in the 50s, there was a guy called Sam Harris who was obsessed with
not the singer
torturing. No, different dude. And, he was obsessed with tormenting animals. And a lot of people who have psychological problems start off with torturing smaller animals, and then they evolve beyond that. So he had gotten to the point where he was tearing up pigs, according to legend. And the neighborhood people were like, that dude's a nut. And a neighboring guy supposedly came to the house. He sat down, he had dinner with them and everything. And the husband was chopping up pig parts and feeding them to the wife so feverishly that the guest was terrified. He got up and ran out of the house, and he noticed the kid was eating like that also. So he just took off. And he told everybody else, he's like, they're a bunch of wackos in that house. They're lunatics about pigs. And someone told him, well, the son cuts the heads off of the pigs, hollows them out, and wears it as a mask to try to scare people. And supposedly on All Hallows Eve, he was doing his normal thing. His name was Sam Harris, doing his normal thing where he would torment the other kids. He was only 17. He would torment the other kids in the neighborhood, and he was wearing his pig mask. And then he wandered off into the woods, never to be seen again until the legend started. So supposedly, that's one of the origins of the tale, that this kid, Sam Harris, went nuts and either was possessed by a demon out there in the woods or made a deal with the devil for whatever. Hey, give me some more pork chops or whatever the deal was. I don't know what could be good on his end to be pig, but then he started tormenting and eating people and pigs.
And so the devil turned him into like a pig-like creature?
Yeah, well, yeah. The origin of witches is very similar. They tormented women, asked the devil for help, and he's like, if I give you the ability to mess with this stuff called magic. So the devil often gives people stuff, but I cannot imagine that it's ever a good trade.
Well, it's a lot like some of the other legends we read. Yes, like the Melonheads. I agree with you on that. There's things like whether it's someone that's been inbred, down again and again and again through the generations, or someone, just like this, other things that we've read, like, this family that's been separated, like, this is the result of that. Or some mix of, Dr. Morneau type of thing, some weird mix of things. But it's like, a lot of these legends are very similar. Some of the ones that we've been doing, and this one they said it's like, the guy is around 5'6" or 5'8", and thing is that they're very proud of this in Vermont. This is like their local legend. It's like when you went. When you saw the Mothman, they have like little stores and stuff for the Mothman. The same thing there that they have with the Pigman. They have all this merchandise, all this memorabilia for the Pigman. But this, I don't know. This one, I know some of the other things we read about, talked about. This one seemed like a little bit stretched to me. I don't know what else you read on this, but this one seemed more of a stretch than some of the other ones that we've been doing.
I would agree. You're supposed to go to Fairfield, Vermont.
Right.
Northfield.
Yeah.
And there's a particular area of caves that they call the Devil's Wish Bowl for.
I love that name. I saw that name too. What a great name, first of all.
It stands out.
Right.
But then when you think about it, I'm like, his wish bowl. What's a wish bowl? But it's a cool sounding name. And there's a series of caves that if you explore the caves, there are supposedly large hoofed prints
right
in the sand. And there's supposedly bones of eaten or partially eaten animals. And that, to me personally, that sounds like a wolf. That sounds like a wolf or a bear or something. They're mistaking the hoof prints for bear prints. And there's something legitimately dangerous living in that cave. And these people are wandering around. They're like, hey, you think it's the bear, the pig boy? And then a grizzly jumps out and grabs somebody and bites him in the face. I'm thinking, to me personally, I 100% believe there is, unknown stuff out there in the world. Of course there is. But sometimes it's just really stupid people doing something stupid and going to die in a stupid way. I think that when I was reading it and, watching the videos, I'm like, okay, well, this sounds kind of interesting. But then when they said that there was like one specific area where you could find the bones, I'm like, well, that's a hunting ground. You're messing around with wolves or something.
Well, it's the same thing. I saw about the cave. There was also, like they said, this like old house, this old farm, like decrepit farm, where they found like a lot of the same things, like prints and hoof prints and everything like that. Okay. And if you're walking into, I don't know if if I'm walking into an old deserted barn, at least not by myself, maybe with a group. But if you're walking into a cave and you see all these bones there, are you going to exploring anymore? Are you getting the hell out of the cave?
That's it for me. If it's like what I said about Bigfoot. People go to look for Bigfoot and all they bring are like apples to try to entice them to get close and cameras. And I'm thinking, if you really honestly think that there's a 7-foot tall bipedal hominid, mostly gorilla-esque thing wandering around that eats yak by smacking their back and breaking their spine, why would you do that? You wouldn't try to find a lion or a tiger with just a camera. So I'm thinking the same thing about that. If I went to a place where I really thought there might be something in there, when I went to the Stanley Hotel, there were maybe 100 people wandering around. So I figured I don't have to be the faster than the ghost.
Right.
I just got to be
Yes.
faster than at least one person there.
Right.
So I felt safe wandering the woods, looking for the Vermont Pigman. I'm thinking, what if you find him?
Yes.
He's supposed to be a killer. If you find him, I wouldn't want to find him. Not by
Well,
myself.
it's like we said before, though. It's kind of like, I don't know what's scarier than if you're seeing a creature that's a real pigman, or something like this result of like this inbreeding family for years that's human. That to me
Yeah.
is scarier than seeing some baby mythological creature out there. I saw all the things here. They have, like you said, the old deserted barn house that they think that this thing has hung around or resides in. I'm not going there. But they have all this area, like they have been TV things on it, like this type of unsolved mysteries type thing on the Pigman. What was it? Oh, the Monsters and Mysteries. They had a television series. They featured the Pigman. They've also been comic books about it. But it's like a big deal there. It's I guess like the green lights that started in St. Pete, which I had never heard of. So people around that part really know the legend, really know all about it, and they're proud of the legend too. But again, I'd rather go into the house like you. I think I'd rather go into a house than out by the woods searching for something.
Yeah, because you might find it. I wouldn't want that. You might find it, or even worse, it might find you. That to me is terrifying because there are. I'm thinking about doing that Bigfoot tour. But you said something that sticks out to me. Even at this moment, I would be out there by myself. And now I'm thinking, man, for $100, I could surround myself with some people, probably some old ones, and be able to get away just in case. But
I didn't say that the
know.
tour is bad. I would do a tour. I've told you this. I've gone on haunted tours. Every time I go to some place and they have like a ghost tour, I try to go to it. So I do enjoy those tours. I was just saying, $100 sounds kind of pricey for one of these tours. But
it does.
Are they camping out overnight? What are they doing?
Yeah, you go there in the morning, afternoon. The guide walks you around, and then you spend the night, and then you wander the woods at night, and he shows you supposed trails of where it is and where Bigfoot has been and stuff like that. And they say that sometimes they find Bigfoot scat, and to be honest, it's poo. I don't know where it came from. That dude could have put it there. There's no telling. So, you're supposed to do all of that, and potentially, possibly, within, the era of supposed reason, you could find a Bigfoot and take a picture of it. But I don't know. They provide lunch, I guess.
Well, they're giving you lunch. They're giving you lunch overnight.
They're giving me lunch. Yeah,
Maybe.
But I'm going to drive past a bunch of stores before I get there. I can get my own lunch, but it sounds interesting, but the more I think about it, especially like you said, it's sticking in my head now. If I skipped $100 and I went out there by myself, I would be out there by myself.
Right.
I'm not sure that's an option for me.
I like these tours. I would consider going on. I'm not sure $100 worth, but I would consider going on. So, but I don't know if I do a Pigman tour, maybe. But if Bigfoot's $100, the Pigman tour has got to be around 25 to me.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, it was just such a weird thing. I thought, I think that I like the Mothman one better than this one. I think this is just, like I said, this is just and it's like it's just such a small area that it covers too. Not that that's a bad thing, because but it's I was reading that again. It's such a localized thing, which makes sense too. That so, if it were a real thing, it probably would just be a local thing. So I don't know. It's one of those things that I feel this one was harder to believe to me than some of the others.
Yeah, this one, the Mothman had more teeth. There were more witnesses. There was, pictures and video. There were, the MIB could have possibly been there. They had pictures of that. There was more going on with the Mothman. With this one, it's basically a couple of really old people with probably bad vision and some really young
But a lot of other
kids.
people have seen it too, though. They said that there were like, different reports. There have been a lot of sightings of this.
Okay.
But again, I don't know what's real, what's not. And the big one was like, those teens seeing it, after, but who knows? Maybe those teens were drinking a little something too. But there have been sightings.
It would be more believable if, like, there's a guy that was supposedly killed. There was the kid, the Sam Harris kid that disappeared. If there were actual reports of these missing people, supposedly it's eating people, but there's no, if they had a report, an actual police report, then I'd say, oh man, wow, at least something actually happened.
There are two different things on that. There are some people that say that the pigman is, like you said, like harmful, that it will go out and kill and eat people, and some are saying like it's more playful thing. I've read different conflicting things on this.
I'm not playing with a 6 foot tall pig man.
But this is not 6 foot. They said this is 5'6". Even so, it's still, is something even 5'6". How tall are you again?
Me, just under 6 foot. I'm
all right. So I'm 6'1", but still,
okay.
Still, it's that if I don't know if I can take something 5'6" that's out in the wild, learning to go kill all the time. So that that hunts you down. So I don't know if it's like Wolverine. Wolverine's supposed to be like around that height, around 5'6" in the comics or something.
Yeah.
So
and he'll gut people. So.
Right, exactly. So it's the same type thing for me. But it's like they said it has the snout, it has the hair, it has like that curly tail on it as well. So it would be a scary thing to see. I'm saying I agree with that.
If it's out there, then that means that someone legitimately made a deal with the devil, which not only validates this thing, but it also validates the devil, and that changes all of the noises I hear in the middle of the night in the house. Or it's a complete and utter lunatic that's wearing a pig mask.
Right.
That's going around slaughtering animals. Either way, if there's any validity to it, then I'm not going in the woods.
I still love the name Devil's Watchbowl.
Yeah.
So there's like I said, there's not too much on this one. It was like, I didn't see too many other things on it. I think you probably saw a lot more videos than I did on it. I watched a couple. But there wasn't a lot. It's just something that's just struck me as just being really odd. Just really, this out of all the legends that we've read, I think this might have been one of the oddest ones.
Yeah, I would expect this below the Mason-Dixon line, like in Georgia or maybe Alabama or something. It just sounds like a Southern Utah kind
I agree
of
with
thing.
you. I agree with you on that, and it's not. Right?
It's not, yeah.
So
which is weird.
So I think we covered everything with the Pigman. It's like I said. What do you think? So yes, gut feeling, yes or no?
I'm going to go with pranks that were misunderstood and then over the years exaggerated. Somebody was probably out there being goofy. Other people are probably repeating it just to scare people. I think it's just pranks. I'm going to go with that.
I'm with you. I give more credence to some of the others that we have. We tend to like buy things a little bit more. This one also I had a hard time with the Pigman. Yeah. If it is real, I don't want to see it. At least not alone. But it was a creepy one. So all right, so we'll give this one kind of like an eh. Yeah. Right. And apologies to the people of Vermont, to Northfield, Vermont, for this one, because I know they strongly do believe in the Pigman. So let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you believe, not believe. Have you seen it? Any experience with it? And as always, thanks for watching. And please like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you for watching Nightmares Before Bed. And now, it's time to shut the lights, close your eyes, and go to sleep. If you can.